Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching, wherever you are watching, you are once again joining me and the wonderful Natalie for a pre-recorded, but still just as irrelevant episode of the Monday Mock. How are you, Natalie?
I'm really good. We've had a really lovely sunny weekend in Reading, the first one of the year. So I've been out enjoying the sun. So I'm in a good mood and ready to mock.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm actually going to throw you a curveball straight out the bat that you haven't seen. Okay?
Whoa.
Because earlier on, I felt I needed to take this picture. Now, this is me parked in a disabled bay at Asda. This is me trying to leave a disabled bay at Asda. This is a twat parked in the middle of the road, halfway across the front of my vehicle, with his engine off, sitting with his phone on, while I'm trying to leave a disabled bay. This afternoon at Asda.
So what's the next bit of the story? Did you have to get out the car and tell him to move?
I gave him some very disapproving looks. And then he gave me some very disapproving looks back. Then I gave him some very disapproving hand gestures. And he still refused to move. So what I had to do was I ended up having to back my car right up till it was nearly against the bollard. And you've seen the size of my car, first and foremost. Yes. It's no little thing. And then I had to literally inch out between the car that was next to me and the front of his bonnet and find the gap through. Because he was not moving. He was not moving. No, I didn't move.
What is wrong with people? He's not even in the car parking spaces. He's just...
No, he's in the road.
It's unbelievable. I mean, you did well not to get out of the car and go have a go at him, to be honest. I think I'd have lost my temper.
I don't need to be doing that the day before. I'm starting to do things for the other channel. Don't need to be doing that just yet. But yeah, people are just such twats sometimes, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's just people's level of entitlement. I think we said that last week. Like with the internet, with social media, everybody thinks they're entitled and that they're the most important person in the world.
Let's go to our first actual slide provided by you, Natalie, and let's see what we've got there. Tell us what's here.
Yeah, it made me laugh, something from Twitter. But crazy how people get up at 5 a.m. to work out. I don't even get up at 5 a.m. to pee. I just lay there and suffer, and it resonated with me.
I wish it resonated with me, but I was up at 4:30 this morning. 4:30.
Why were you up so early?
My back was doing its usual, giving me crap. So that's why I got up at 4:30. But no, a lot of mornings now I get up around that time, but no way am I working out. I mean, I go to the school. When I drop the kids off at the school sometimes, I see these mums turning up in gym clothes. They've clearly just been to the gym before they've come to do the school drop. And I'm just looking at them going, why? Why?
Yeah, I do wake up fairly early now because now I'm not drinking. I do tend to find I got like a natural body clock of about 6:30, but I do the thing where I don't want to get out of bed, and even though I need the toilet, I just lay there and I love my bed. My bed's my favourite place, and I don't want to get out. I don't ever want to leave my bed. I'd be quite happy to stay. So no 5 a.m. workouts for me, Ben.
Come on, I think I believe in you. I think you can do it.
Yeah, okay, maybe I'll try one next week.
Just one. Just one. Send me pictures.
I'll send you a video at 5 a.m. Here
I am working out. I'll just text you back. Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. You've just woken me up. I don't care. Yeah.
You just woken me up. Why have you done that? You're just so mean to me. Yeah. Right. Anyway, we seem to be back on the picture of my driving now. This production is not going the best. Right. We're doing well. Come on. We got this. We
can do it.
Blips in the system, but we're moving to our first. I think we got 2 videos here. The producer got the second one that I asked him to get, but we're going to move to the first of hopefully 2 videos round about now. Well,
Ooh.
that is Irish Eurovision sensation Bambi Thug. But before we speak about her, I would like, if we have, to play her reaction to not winning and to, in fact, coming behind Israel.
We are what the Eurovision is. The EBU is not what the Eurovision is. Fuck the EBU. I don't even care anymore. Fuck them. The thing that makes this is the contestants, the community behind this, the love and the power and the support of all of us is what is making change. And the world has spoken. The queers are coming. Non-binaries for the fucking win. And I'm so proud.
So she's had a bit of a tantrum, as you can tell there. She had a little bit of a tantrum because the state of Israel, well, the act from Israel got far more public votes than Bambi Thug did. Let's face it, Bambi Thug and the guy that won from Switzerland got all of the jury votes pretty much between them. But the public were overwhelmingly, Israel got the second highest public vote out of the whole world. So the public were overwhelmingly in support of Israel. I thought that would be the case because their semi-final in the week, they got 40% of the entire vote just for one act. So we knew that there was going to be large public support for them. But it just seems to... Okay, the Eurovision Song Contest has always been about politics. Okay, people need to stop denying that. It should be 3 hours of campy, fun escapism where we're just watching crap music from crap artists we'll never hear from again. That's what it should be. But that's not what it is. Obviously, with the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, people who want to signal their virtue decided that Israel were evil. This 20-year-old girl from Israel who turned up to sing a song was somehow, all of the blame was pinned on her. And there was this concerted effort of, I would say, harassment against her, not just from other entrants, but from members of the public that turned up and protested her, led by Greta Thunberg of all people. And I'm thinking to myself, what has this got to do with her, first and foremost? You've got to separate the idea of a singer and the decisions that Benjamin Netanyahu are making. Separate those two things.
Yeah, and I was going to say something similar. She was booed off stage, the Israel singer, I believe, on the semi-final.
And the final.
So, yeah, and there was controversy because many people were asking for Israel to be taken out of the Eurovision Song Contest as Russia had been previously. So obviously there was some controversy there. But for me, I've always loved the Eurovision. You know, I'm one of those, I love a bit of cheese. So yeah. I've always had Eurovision evenings. I'd sit there, we watch it, we take the piss out of it. You know, it's supposed to be awful. It's not supposed to be good. That's part of the whole atmosphere around it. Which people don't seem to understand, and now it's got even more ridiculous. I mean, I didn't spend much time on social media over the weekend. Came back on it, and all I'm seeing is, people who are absolutely mad about the Eurovision, whether it's political, whether it's because they think some symbolism is satanic, and I think they're all taking it as well just a little bit too seriously for my liking. I just think Eurovision was always supposed to be fun and cheesy and not taken seriously. And everybody takes everything too seriously now, Ben. I just want to laugh.
I mean, every country's always voted for their mates. That's just the way it works. That's the way it has been when it comes to these jury votes. But I also think, okay, I'm going to say something that people might say, it's controversial, it's controversial. Israel's song was one of the best songs in the competition last night. It was, if you take it on its musical merits and you remove all of the background shit and you just look at it as a song, it was a damn good song. And you know what? One of the rules of Eurovision is to not do anything overtly political. Their song was originally called October Hurricane, but Eurovision said, no, We're not letting you call it that. We're not entering a song. So they even said, right, we'll just call it Hurricane. We'll just call it Hurricane. We won't call it October Hurricane. So they decided not to engage with political posturing. There has been a controversy between them and another entrant who got disqualified because he ended up threatening someone.
Yeah.
And then somehow they're being blamed for that as well. I don't actually know what's gone on. It's an absolute massive shit show based upon stuff that's nothing to do with the people that are there.
And I think as well, like when I look back, you know, singers have always been controversial. Obviously, the island entrant, they're saying a lot of people, yeah, it's satanic and things like this. But I look back. I look back and yes, it doesn't really matter what people think. I used to listen to Marilyn Manson and all things like that, which I'm sure there's some satanic symbolism and stuff. And if you look back, then it has always been happening. And there was a tweet I read just before that I came on that said from Nelly Tells on the Eurovision thing. I don't watch it, never have watched it, but I don't think stodgy old people complaining about it is going to stop it either. True, some of the performers are in their 30s, but clearly they are like children of yesteryear rebelling, so they want your disapproval and they want you complaining.
So
I think she makes a good point.
So let me preface this with, we are coming back to Eurovision later in the show. You don't know this yet, but we are coming back to Eurovision later in the show. But I'm just gonna put this out there. If we want to get any points, because last night Ollie Alexander formerly of Years and Years, got 0 points in the public vote.
That's part of Eurovision. You always get 0. We have to laugh about it.
In the public vote, this was. In the public vote. 0 points at all. None. Zilch, zip. So I put my offer out there right now to the UK's Eurovision Commission.
Yes, Ben.
Next year, I will come. I will ride donuts on the stage in my mobility scooter. I don't even have to sing. And it will get more points than Ollie Alexander did.
Do you know what? It could be a good sympathy vote. Is a disabled man on a mobility scooter, Ben? I'm just saying.
Waving a flag with one hand. Got the microphone on a stand attached to the scooter, driving it round.
Yeah, I like it. Choreography with the mobility scooter. Yeah, I think we should push it.
And then halfway through the song, the lights all come up and 10 more scooters come on, and we do a choreographed scooter round.
I love it. Can I be a dancer in the back?
I need to call myself Susan. Says the moderator in my ears. I need to call myself Susan. I've been Susan before in Europe as well. So maybe.
You could call yourself non-binary as well, because like the island entry said, non-binary for the win, Ben. So
listen, that Irish entry. I'm just going to say something here, and if this is too risque, Mr. Moderator, feel free to edit it out. But I don't believe she's non-binary. I don't believe she's a goth. I don't believe she's a Satanist. I don't believe she's any of these things.
It's attention seeking.
I believe that she's found a niche that she can latch onto. I mean, this woman performed on stage with her boyfriend. A woman and her boyfriend performed on stage together. I'm just saying, I think that they've taken advantage of, latched onto this niche of people, and they're just what we would have termed back in our youth, Natalie, posers.
Exactly. I could completely agree. I felt exactly the same way. In that kids and they want to see rebellious people. They want controversy. I mean, unless when I'm looking back, that was what the type of people that you listen to. It's just attention seeking. So I don't necessarily believe she's any of that, but play the victim as much.
I don't believe she's any of it at all, and that's just my personal opinion. I believe she is exploiting these things. Yeah. She appears to be a straight woman with a boyfriend on stage. They're a typical male-female relationship. I'm just saying.
And I do think as well, in terms of the satanic symbolism, some people were doing that as a part of their kind of art and music, and they don't really understand. Somebody will go, do this, and it doesn't mean that they're part of the Freemasons, or they've been told that they're actually a true Satanist or anything. Some people can't put the two things together,
Correct.
It doesn't mean she's worshipping Satan because there was satanic symbolism. It just means she might be a bit naive.
I think just a bit. Just a bit.
Just a little bit.
Let's move on from this. Though we will return later on to Eurovision. But Lewis here says, if you don't finish your taxi ride with "Anywhere is fine, thanks," are you even British?
I actually do. As soon as I saw that, I can guarantee, as a British person, every time I say those words when I'm in a taxi. Don't know about you, Ben.
I haven't been in a taxi for years, but when I have been, yes, that's exactly what I do.
Yeah, and you can tell us in the chat when this is airing as well. You can tell us what you think. Do you say the same thing? Anywhere here, just park up here. Anywhere here's fine, thanks.
Yeah, anywhere here's fine, thanks, mate. You know, just around here by the lamppost. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. We're so polite, the British.
Speaking of anywhere here is fine, mate. We spoke about this on Friday night show briefly, but I've shown you this picture before, Natalie, but I just want people to see. Now, that red circle is the Tate compound, and that next to it, with nothing but woods in between, is the runway of an airfield. Do we think the Tates purposely built their compound as close to an airfield as possible in case they ever needed an escape route?
It looks very plausible, doesn't it?
I think so.
It does seem rather coincidental that their compound would be so close to an airport, or at least I don't know if it's a full airport, but at least where planes can take off.
We'll put it this way: a private jet could taxi down the runway, park at the end there. They could bolt through the woods, jump on it, straight down the runway. They're off.
Yeah.
I'm just, Andrew, if you're ever watching this, I'm not giving you ideas because I think that would be really, really dumb and really, really stupid. But then again, you are really dumb and really stupid. But we all know Tristan's the brains. We all know that. Yeah. Come on, let's face it.
Don't encourage him, Ben. Anyway.
And also, have you seen? We got next video. This is Andrew Tate's latest hairstyle, isn't it?
He DIYs his new hair with a toothbrush and dye. This is the most symmetrical hairstyle we've ever seen. OMG. Just look at that. Wow. The hair literally appears in front of our eyes. Amazing. What do you think of this hairstyle?
What do you think, Ben, of this wonderful hairstyle that's been put on social media?
Right, well, that is definitely something Tate would do, first and foremost. But secondly, have you seen those, you must have done, right, in your lifetime, those games of table football with the arms through the tables and you knock the ball down, you've got your little players there attached to the rod. He looks exactly like one of those players.
Yes, he does. But I just think it's hilarious. Again, it's like, I think, we spoke about turkey teeth a couple of weeks ago, and now we see these type of hairstyles. Everything is so fake now. There's this kind of look where it's deemed fashionable or like attractive to look fake. And how they're selling that on social media, first, as soon as I saw that video, I was laughing to myself. I thought, he looks like an absolute dickhead.
And he does look like a dickhead, but let me play devil's advocate with you a little bit here. I dye my hair. Oh. I'm sure you dye your hair or have dyed your hair.
I have, yeah.
Is that any different?
I think that, dyeing hair that's already there compared to using a toothbrush and painting on hair is slightly different.
I'll give you that. All right, I'll give you that. Andrew, if you do it, we will laugh at you some more. Yeah. But it certainly
yes, please do. We can encourage him with that one. We like to laugh at Andrew Tate. It's one of our favourite pastimes.
And also, I just want to ask, how on earth did Emily here get pregnant?
Emily shows me this. A pregnancy test she claims she took earlier today. Emily, I tried to kiss you. Can I give you a kiss? Really, Emily? Are you going to play hard to get? I would have never bought you and brought you here. I want to be intimate with you. I will honor your wishes, and I will wait until you're ready. Just remember, I love you. I got great news, everybody. Something that I've been wanting a very long time. Emily and I are officially dating as of a couple weeks ago. I love Emily and Emily loves me. Well, yeah, she has a choice dating me. Why wouldn't she? You know, she also had a choice to get married to me too. We are married.
That's the first time you saw the whole video. It's great, isn't it?
Either this man has serious mental health problems or he knows exactly how to get viral on social media.
Yeah, I know. I think this one's a mental health problem. I've seen several videos about this man, and he does live like this. And like, I think he's fallen out. I think his
Is he falling out?
will go along with it. I think, but he's fallen out with other people and stuff about his love for his plastic wife, an actual, not plastic surgery wife, but an actual.
So there's he does lots of videos, doesn't he? He like does a video series on how their life's going. So I do think he's fair game because he puts it out there. He puts it out there, so I do think he's fair game. I'm just waiting for the one where he comes home and he's like, Emily, why haven't you made my goddamn dinner? Where's my food, Emily? I asked you to pot roast the goddamn turkey.
I think he does do that, though. I think I've seen those videos as well. Bless him. I think, playing devil's advocate, right? If he's a lonely man and it actually makes him happy, right, and he's doing no harm to anybody else, it fair play. It doesn't bother me. It is no harm, but it is very, very strange.
No harm, no foul. Look, listen here, Emily. She consents to everything. She can't speak. She can't nod. She can't shake her head properly. We put a little motor in there and it can turn a little bit, but she can't fight back. I mean, she can't. She can't cook a goddamn pot roast.
We need an update on Emily and her husband.
Well, I think this segues us nicely into and the way the comparisons I'm going to make here is this is clearly somebody's reality that we got a few of them here, and these are very convincing pictures of the Simpsons and Simpsons adjacent characters if they were human beings. And these actually look like photographs of real people that were taken, but none of them are they, Natalie?
No, they were created by AI. We've got Bart there, obviously, and Marge. It's scary because we spoke about this last week. It's why I got these out for us to see about Hollywood, about actors. They're able to do this at just the touch of a button. This is done by AI. So what is going to be capable in the future? Will they need actors and actresses if they can just press a couple of buttons and then get these people as you see here? These aren't even real. They won't just be able to do pictures. In moving forward, they could be able to get people acting this out as well, wouldn't they?
I think so. I think so. There is now between the actors and the writers, there are agreements in place about the studios pulling back on AI rather than going forward, because that's what the strikes last year were about. Yeah. So the studios have agreed not to be so heavy on it. They're being a bit more hesitant on it, but you know that eventually it's going to go down that road. That's where it's going to go. And it's a damn shame.
They were good pictures as well. They were impressive, weren't they? They were quite funny, those Simpsons pictures. It seems to me that what we're seeing is only a little bit of what is actually available. I think there is much more advanced technology out there that could be used as well.
This next video is about a twat who tried to jump out of a balloon.
I'm telling you, no. Stop pushing it. I'm being serious here, man. I got thousands. Dude, I don't give a shit, man. This guy just takes off his jacket and reveals a parachute. My first instinct was like, this is a joke. I'm not letting you jump. Okay, it's over. My dad died on a hot balloon accident. I know how dangerous it can be. Not high enough. No, you're not. You're not. I got thousands. Dude, I don't give a shit, man. You have to tell this before we need to ask for permission. Yeah. We're not allowed to do this. We're actually filing a permit and you're up. I'm telling you, man, we are
God.
actually filing a permit. If we do this illegally, man, you have it on video. You just tried to stop me.
So yeah, this was something that I took off Facebook.
Mm.
This is another social media influencer coming and seeing what's your opinion. Basically, is the guy right who owns the hot air
I
balloon
think
to
he
say
is.
no?
I think he is
I think
because
so.
now I'm not averse to people doing things like base jumping, right? If people want to risk their lives and do things like that, that's absolutely fine. You want to go jump off a mountain, hell, you want to go jump off the Stratospheric Tower in Vegas like people have done. I'm not going to encourage it, but I'm also not going to stand in the way of it. However, when you go up in somebody else's property, you don't tell them what you're doing, then you suddenly reveal a parachute. When that person tells you, we're actually filing for permits so that people can jump for our balloons, and if you do this, you'll screw it up. Yeah, I think, sit down, prick. Sit down.
Yeah, I just think it's the entitlement. It goes back again. These social media influencers, you see them again in gyms as well,
Yeah.
and they think even though a lot of these gyms say no filming, they don't care, or they're like, I think it's Joey Swole that shows them all. You know, it's the entitlement. This social media influencer felt it doesn't matter what the rules are. It doesn't matter what your insurance is. It doesn't matter if I put you out of business. As long as I get clicks and likes and I can jump out of that hot air balloon, it doesn't matter who I hurt in the process. And,
Yeah.
that's not the way we should be in the world. Let's at least have some empathy and start having some consideration for other people, Ben. Is it too much to ask? Is it? Or are we all turning into internet obsessed narcissists?
Right then, speaking of technology and dubious uses of it, shall we say, what do you think to this one then?
If you want to keep an eye where your husband is at, here's a solution. Place an AirTag inside of his sneaker and voila!
I think that's absolutely terrible. I don't know how somebody's getting away with pushing that idea on social media. It's not ethical. It's morally wrong.
Yeah.
Basically, why don't you just spy on your partner? Don't you think instead we should be encouraging healthy relationships that trust each other, Ben? That's what I would be encouraging, not to put a spying plaything in somebody's trainer or on somebody's phone or anywhere else on their body. Not good. The internet strikes again.
Well, yeah, the internet strikes again, and you know what? I guarantee you there are some bunny boiler types who'll do that.
Oh,
and I'm not just talking about
100%.
women. I'm not just talking about women. There will be men that do that too.
I know a lot of people with massive jealousy problems, who when I saw that video, I thought people would buy that. If they actually advertise it, there'd be a fair few jealous people who'd be more than happy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So their partner didn't know, and they could keep an eye on their location at all times, and they wouldn't think anything wrong with it.
I already know somebody who installed a tracker in her partner's phone without him knowing, and I was not happy. You know, I'm not happy. I was not happy about seeing that. I didn't want anything to do with that. You know,
it's terrible.
It is. It is terrible. And do you know what else is terrible? Bottle caps. What the hell has happened to bottle caps?
The worst thing, I've had a difficult year, 2024, but among one of the worst things about this year is the invention of those bloody bottle caps.
I agree.
And as an autistic person and has got sensory issues, like there is nothing worse. And I have to try rip the silly thing off. I've then tried to sometimes cut my hands or my teeth and stuff. And it's all of course, in the name of climate change, I believe.
Oh, holy climate change. Let us pray.
Yes, let's pray, yes.
Let's pray to the climate gods.
Yeah, yes. Because that's going to make the huge difference. Not all the industrial action in other countries, but those bottle tops are going to save the world by attaching them to the bottle.
I got a secret. Come closer. Come closer.
Yes.
It really is going to save the world. Okay.
Is it?
You just have to listen to these lunatics and just believe anything they say. It's going to save the world. And that's why we've got all of these bottle caps now. We're saving the world every time we buy a Coke, every time we buy a Fanta, every time we buy a Sprite. We are saving the world.
But Ben, I can't even drink fizzy drinks at the moment, and they're even doing it with water bottles.
You climate harlot!
Water
Can't
bottles.
even buy fizzy drinks! You're destroying the planet! You're buying that juice crap, aren't you? Take the lid off of it and it goes the other direction. Huh!
It's my pet peeve, this one. Every single time. It was bad enough. Now you can't get a plastic straw, and all of the paper straws just destroy when you're trying to finish a drink. But the bottle tops, it's just too much for me, Ben. It's almost.
I'm going to tell you now. The next segment of the show is my pet peeve, and anybody that watches Chasing Descent All In knows how much I hate/love these people. We'll start with a video, and then we're going to go on to a new segment, which I'm probably going to do every week, by the way, after this video. But first of all, let's see the TikTok transvestigator.
Take a walk with me and have a look at these women. Notice anything strange about Megan's neck? You see that? And she's not the only one. See the scar? The scar is right there. They do it in the neckline so that when they shave the Adam's apple down, it's not as noticeable. But let's take a look at the procedure and what the before and after pictures look like. A chondrolaryngoplasty, commonly called tracheal shave, is a surgical procedure in which the thyroid cartilage is reduced in size by shaving down the cartilage through an incision in the throat, generally to aid those who are uncomfortable with the girth of their Adam's apple.
It's all about the girth of the Adam's apple.
All about the girth. It's all about the girth. I don't know who this woman is, but she's just as... I was going to say she's just as deranged. She's just as deranged as the person who's going to feature in my next two slides here, right? And this segment is called "What's Lauren Been Smoking This Week?" So this is a Twitter account that is dedicated to this stuff. Who literally, but the thing is, nobody is safe. If anybody is in the public eye at all, according to Lauren, then they have been inverted. So, first of all, I still don't get why, and I'm going to ask this question every week, why would these people be inverted? Miss Teen USA's resigned after Miss USA stepped down. What's going on was the headline there, but Lauren's like, no, look at these boys. Look at these blokes. They don't look like blokes to me. I'm sorry, but they're not. Next one here is Barbara Streisand as a young boy on the right. Look, I've seen Babs sing. All right, you leave Babs alone. Babs is a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. And
she gets enough from South Park, doesn't she? And now we've got a transvestigator as well.
But my question is, why would people do this? Okay, and not only that, you've got to pick these people out as children and decide, or even in the womb, as a lot of these people suggest, that person's going to be famous when they're older. We best invert them now. We best do it now. Why?
There is a possibility, Ben, because I like to always see that, the kind of truth and the bigger scale of it, that there may be one or two Hollywood actresses or actors that have changed their sex. But Buck Angel, he changed back 40 years ago. He's a porn star and does loads of it on the internet. But people did change their genders. But we're talking if it's happened so rare. We're like so.
You're talking about Buck
rare.
Angel.
Well, I'm just using him as an example, but there have been people in the past who have changed their sex, and it's very, very hard.
But they're very open. But they are open about it. Like Ellen Page, for example, who is now Eric Page, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But these people have done it. I mean, according to Lauren here, even Vivek Ramaswamy, even Vivek Ramaswamy and Ann Coulter maybe, but Vivek Ramaswamy was apparently, had this done to them. But why would this man? Why would they pick this man as a child to go, you know what? In the 2024 presidential election, this man's going to run, 40 years ago.
I just don't get it with these transvestigators. They use all of these rules for people's bodies, like it's the size of their hips or the size of their shoulders or some random things like that. And apparently that proves it doesn't prove anything. And for the most part, the people in Hollywood, the people that are famous, most women are quite small. Most men are quite tall. That's just the way it goes. And if you've got a 5'2" woman, yeah, she's probably a woman. There aren't that many 5'2" men, and likewise the other way round. Not all these silly rules. But they give us entertainment.
But still,
there's nothing else we can laugh at them.
But still, it just leads me back to the question: for what purpose would this be done? What purpose? What possible reason is there for doing this?
You're missing the whole satanic kind of.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry, but I'm not.
No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think that people try to say it's if you can make human beings take gender away, like the transhumanism side, that's what people are trying to push. Ben, I'm not
sorry,
saying I agree with it. I'm saying what
I think there's a bigger
say.
push. I think there's an actual bigger concerted push for styles of eugenics than there is for this. Right? I think that there's probably cases to be made that governments want to, genetically modify and alter children using that CRISPR technique and things like that. That's real, by the way. I would say that's the sort of thing you want to look at as, then this ridiculous nonsense.
Yeah, I completely agree. But I think we'll carry on enjoying ourselves and laughing at them each week.
Okay, let me clarify then. CRISPR itself is a technique used to genetically modify fetuses and can also genetically modify infants to remove the risk of disease. It's not, going forward, it can remove the risk of things like Downs and sickle cell and things like that. However, it's not 100% effective. The creator of it did get put in prison for doing it without a license, but the technology is now in the hands of governments all over the world, and they are licensing it out to companies as we speak for to look at it and see how they can apply it in the real world. And I think that could lead down a slippery slope for real that is far more important to the future of our species than this bloody nonsense. That's just me.
Yes, it is nonsense, but we can laugh at them, Ben, and that's what we have to do moving forward.
Right, so apparently we've got a bonus video from producer that neither of us know what it is. So let's see it.
Times.
My hair is literally stuck in the fucking hair whisk. The fucking... Oh, fucking hell. What do I do? What the fuck do I do? Oh, I need to sit down. I feel like I'm going to pass out. All I was trying to do is make a fucking pasta. And no, we weren't a piece there. Fucking hell. And fuck. Ow.
Oh, poor woman. I can't work out if she's kind of put it in there for attention and views and likes, or she is that stupid.
If she had done that, that would be extremely painful. Even if you did it on purpose, that would be extremely painful. That would have felt like a scalping at that point. Yeah, you can see how tight it's wrapped. And you can see the pizza dough all over her face, right? She's I can't use the word I want to use. But this is why in a kitchen, if you work in a kitchen, your hair is put in a net. It's reasons like this that your hair is put up and put out of the way.
Not that I like health and safety, but there are some good health and safety tips out there, aren't there, Ben, that actually work.
Like, health and safety has gone fucking mad in this country.
It
You
has.
couldn't well, they have to go to other countries to film game shows like bloody Total Wipeout because of all the safety rules. You couldn't film that in the UK, so off to Argentina they fly. So,
Yeah.
but and then Takeshi's Castle, you couldn't remake that here, and that's why they go off
I
to
love
Japan to
I
do it.
love Takeshi's Castle. That's a trip down memory lane. They never won though, did they, at Takeshi's Castle?
I think they won once, and then Count
won. It
Takeshi
was almost
himself had to lead the troops to take it back, and they took it back. So it didn't last very long.
That was great.
But yeah, no, that hair whisk thing. As someone who very often, as you'll know, has very long hair, I'm in a short hair stage at the moment. That is scary to me. Now, I felt every bit of that, and I do genuinely believe that woman got her hair stuck in that whisk. And
I reckon she's going to have to shave her head. Let's see if we can find an update on her TikTok.
It's going to be a snip job at the very least. Yeah. Absolutely. It's going to be a snip job. Now, I want to go back to Twitter and, of course, back to Eurovision. So, this post was put out by Ben on Wine on Twitter, and it says, what do you think of Britain's Eurovision performance? Okay, before I give my answer, Natalie, did you watch Ollie Alexander's performance?
No, I didn't. I was out at a friend's, and we only got to see the results. I didn't see the performance. I heard his semi-final was dreadful, and that his vocals were terrible.
Well, no, that's just him in general. We can't sing.
Okay, so maybe he was just making excuses. But I also, some people had said it was quite over-sexualized. So those are just opinions of other people's that I've heard.
Now, because it's obviously set in a seedy, dingy bathroom as well, I gave my response here, and for those who have seen the horror franchise Saw and enjoy it, you'll understand this reference here. My response was, will he successfully saw his ankle off before the guy on the floor wakes up and reveals he was a psycho all along?
Yeah.
No, it was terrible. It's absolutely dreadful. And that actually brings us nicely to the end of the slides.
Ooh. So have we done all of them, or have we got one more to go then?
No, that is the last slide. However, we have just been told in the ears by the voice in the sky that none of you watching this can hear, that we are to plug the Eurovision commentary show coming up that has been recorded by our good producer, John. It is coming up on the channel as soon as humanly possible. Now, once again, I said at the beginning of this show, this is not live. So if you have tried to chat to us in the chat tonight and we have not responded, we told you. We did tell you. We gave you the warning at the beginning. Yeah. And obviously, if you would like to support us, then please feel free to do so over at patreon.com/chasing descent, Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/chasing descent, or of course, right here on the channel, you can click that join button, become a member. Hey, and if you're feeling generous, you can buy memberships for other people. You can gift them away, baby. Ooh. I got gifted a membership to another channel the other day, didn't even know who gave it to me. Just given to me. And now a channel that I watch quite regularly, I can get their members only content. So if you're feeling generous, give some people some memberships. It'd be quite nice. And obviously go and subscribe to the Real Review UK, and of course the Outer Place. Ooh, where John and Ed take you down the rabbit holes. And I actually think, voice in the sky, if you're listening to this, you should do a rabbit hole about CRISPR. You should definitely do a rabbit hole about CRISPR. It's definitely worth looking into in great detail. Natalie, last word to you, my dear.
Yeah, and for anyone watching, if you've got any videos that you find particularly funny, we'd love you to send them our way, and anything that you find amusing, because we want to laugh. The world is a crazy place, and we want to be here to mock it with you. So, yeah, get in touch. Let us know.
Indeed. Absolutely do so. And obviously that leaves me with one thing to say, because it's been good for us. But it's been great for you.